Joined by Chris Beard, Ole Miss Rebels head coach. The Rebs back in the NCAA tournament. Hell of a second year. Fun SEC tournament there too. I got to say that Arkansas game got wild. Sean Padua, what a shot maker.
Yeah, that's a special play, man. He was like 0 for 5 in the game, but we practice that every day in practice, trying to get downhill late. He had the courage to pull up and shoot that shot. I thought a sneaky, really good play. The things nobody talk about is Dre Davis, I think, secured the rebound on the missed free throw and then quickly got it to Sean in perfect position where he was already going downhill. So it's all those plays before the play that are probably more important than the guy that makes the shot.
No, that's true. It's easy for a fan like myself to just see the shot. But you mentioned the Sean Padua thing. He was off a little bit that game, but he kept shooting. Do you just tell him to, when shooters are off, just keep shooting?
Well, a little bit of both. I tell him make a shot from time to time. Make sure you're shooting a good one. So, but no, Sean's one of those guys like Matt, like Juju, like Brake, like others we have on the team that they want to be in those moments. And so I think that'll be a big thing in the NCAA tournament. You want to be aggressive, period, but you want to play well. So it's like victory favors the most aggressive team. And then if both teams are aggressive, which is always the case in the tournament, then it's going to come down to the team that makes the fewest mistakes as well.
Well, Ole Miss, Friday, 3:05. Tonight, got to be interesting for you. Got some scouting to do. North Carolina and San Diego State playing in the play-in game. I mean, obviously, you just got to scout and be prepared for whoever wins. You can't say that you have a preference, obviously, but I'm sure you're watching this game closely.
Yeah, it's been a unique perspective. I've never been in this particular situation, but just a few days ago when we got the bye in the SEC tournament, we were waiting to see if we played Arkansas or South Carolina. So we obviously did a pretty good job of that process. So we really are duplicating that. We gave our guys a very quick look at both teams this week, nothing too in-depth. Therefore, when they watch the game tonight, they're not just watching it blindly. And then we'll start tonight. Right after that game ends, we'll have a quick session this evening. And really it'll turn into a 2-day prep for us, which is no different than most of our games this season. 2 days to prepare is plenty.
Well, how was the it looked like quite a wild time at Funky's for the selection party on Sunday. Man, I saw that line was wrapped all the way around the square.
Yeah, it was cool. Oxford has so many special things about it, but obviously we wanted to be on the square. And I'm really appreciative of all the fans that came out. We had a great student attendance. I think it was they were coming right off of spring break, but a lot of those kids came back in town to be there on Sunday. A lot of our loyal season ticket holders were there. Really appreciate Lee and Brooke, what they do for us at Funky's, as well as many, many other places. So look forward to future years spreading that thing out. We got so many great partners and friends in Oxford, but obviously what Funky's does for all of Ole Miss athletics, we really appreciate it.
Shout out Lee Harris. I'm a fan as well. Great guy. Before I ask about the NCAA tournament game, I want to go back to that Tennessee home game because that win over Tennessee on senior night for Brake and Matt Morrell and Sean Padua, I mean, I was watching you after the game, and you were standing back just taking the whole scene in. I mean, that was looked like a very special night in the Pavilion.
Yeah, for so many reasons. Obviously, another SEC win, resume builder. A lot of respect for Tennessee. So you're playing against one of the best teams and best coaches in college basketball. And then the pressure of senior night. Matt and Brake and others have meant so much to this team. Juju, we wanted it to be a special night for those guys and their families. And so we played well. We battled one of the best teams in the country for 40 minutes. It was one of those games that kind of whoever had the ball last had the advantage. I was really proud of that win.
Yeah, that was just awesome momentum to end the season. And so now going to the NCAA tournament, you got some pretty damn good experience in it. Do you have any, obviously Texas Tech, you almost wanted, incredible run in 2019, losing the title game in overtime. Any particular favorite memories through the years for you in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, so many. This will be our fifth different program to take to the NCAA tournament.
Man,
we took Angelo State to the NCAA Division II tournament, Sweet 16 team that year. So, our Little Rock team was special. The first round win against Purdue is something we talk about often with that team and that group. Certainly the runs we had at Texas Tech. At Texas, it had been a while since the Texas program had won an NCAA tournament game. Fun fact, we beat Virginia Tech in that first round game, and Sean Padula was the leading scorer on Virginia Tech's
Wow.
team that day. That game was also played in Milwaukee, so I've had a few chances this week to remind Sean that he made the NCAA tournament, but we beat him in Milwaukee.
Oh man, that's awesome. I didn't remember that stat. That's really something. Well, a lot of Ole Miss guys here on this team. I mean, Sean's obviously played in the tournament as you mentioned, but a lot of guys it's their first NCAA tournament because Ole Miss hasn't made it since 2019 and Kermit's first year. How do you prepare guys as far as just this is their first time on this stage?
Yeah, threefold. We just keep trying to explain to the guys that we've got to be the best version of us. This isn't the time of year to change offenses or defenses or try to be somebody you're not. The best version of us has proven that we can play and beat anybody in the country. You think about some of our wins, whether it be at Louisville or at Alabama, most recently Tennessee at home, a really talented Arkansas team that we beat in Nashville a few days ago. So just reminding the guys that the objective here is, can we be the best version of us? Specifically with the NCAA tournament, we've got three guys that have played in the tournament: Barnes, Juju, and Sean. And then all those guys that haven't, just trying to educate them. The tournament's a little bit different, longer timeouts because of the TV contracts. We only get 40 minutes to shoot in the arena the day before the game. Can be a lot of distractions in the NCAA tournament with ticket requests, a lot of energy going on in downtown Milwaukee. So just I've always thought that preparation is where confidence comes from. And so we're trying to do everything we can to get our players prepared in any way, not just on the court, but all the things that come off the court with the NCAA tournament.
Okay. Well, I know some Ole Miss fans. I talked to Walker Jones, the Grove Collective crew, all heading up there. I think hopefully we'll get some Rebs up there in Milwaukee supporting y'all.
Yeah, I think so. The attention and interest has been great. We got several planes heading to Milwaukee. A lot of season ticket holders have been calling in, trying to get tickets. We just really appreciate it too. There's a lot of time and expense that goes into, supporting the team in Nashville, and a couple of days later going to Milwaukee. So just thank you to all the Ole Miss fans that have supported the team all year long. Thank you for everybody in advance that's coming to Milwaukee. We're 80 minutes away from getting to Atlanta the next weekend. So all sorts of good opportunities for our program here. And we really appreciate our fans, our students. It's been a real team effort here, year two, getting this program back to where it needs to be.
No, I love how interactive you've been with the students too. I love you do videos. I know you go out and you meet them. It's been so cool to see, you go all in for the brand and, this pavilion being sold out. And, it feels like the fan base is super passionate behind you right now.
Yeah, it's a special place. I said when I got here, you could feel the momentum on campus with what baseball is coming off a national championship, what Lane has built and defended is real. Coach Yo playing another NCAA tournament this year. So we just wanted to do our part, but there was no denying the campus growing with enrollment, Chancellor Boyce's leadership, Keith's leadership in the athletic department. So a lot of special things going on here in Oxford. We're very thankful to be in the NCAA tournament. We have a good seed. Explained to the guys all year long how each game was important. To me, the NCAA tournament is the party. You want to get invited to the party, but you also want to go in the front door. It's much easier to try to win 6 games in 3 weekends if you have a front door entry, a good seed. And that's what we did. To be a 6 seed coming out of the SEC, arguably the toughest league in the history of college basketball. The resume we have, the signature wins we have, just really proud of our team and now excited to coach these guys on the biggest stage Friday afternoon.
Well, I'm just going to echo that and say I'm freaking proud of you, the coaches, the players, the fans. I mean, the energy y'all brought to Oxford, year 2, a 6 seed in the NCAA tournament, going through the meat grinder of, maybe the deepest conference in the history of college basketball. Hell, 14 of the 16 teams are in the NCAA tournament. The record was 11 before that. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No. Maybe a couple of years ago, I think the ACC had some crazy bids in terms of numbers. But no, it's it started in the non-conference with all the signature wins, Ole Miss included. It'll be a really good BYU team. That's going to be a factor. Colorado State, I was saying from day one, they were an NCAA tournament team. I don't know if anybody ever believed me until now. Obviously, Louisville's had a special season. So we'll see how the league fares in this tournament. But I would predict you could be looking at multiple SEC teams in San Antonio at the Final Four here in a few weeks.
Yeah,
Mintzy, I like the pullover, man. Are you rocking the the polo under the pullover?
Yeah, I had today Barstool. You never know what you're going to be asked to do. I had to be a sommelier. I get whatever that's called when you serve wine to people. We had a dating show earlier, and they asked me to dress up. So it was funny because I was struggling with corks and opening wine bottles. But yeah, so I tried to dress up and look sharp for work today, which is a very rare thing at Stool.
Yeah, you look like you could be like the poster guy for Gentil, or like a kind of a J. Crew Gap type model.
There you go. Yeah. Let's get hot. 20. Yeah,
with the khakis, with the church shoes. I mean, that's a good look, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're on it this year. We're on the fitness grind. We're feeling good, feeling youthful, and I'll tell you what else makes me feel good. Watching the Ole Miss Rebels in the NCAA tournament, back where they should be, and getting to follow your journey in Oxford, because I hope you feel appreciated and your coaches feel appreciated and the players, because y'all have brought a lot of joy to this school and to this fan base. And, I feel like all coaches, part of being successful is the grind and how much time and how intense it is. And so I just hope y'all are feeling the love and feel appreciated, because it certainly felt that from y'all, from this end.
No, we all love it here. Most important group is the players. Oxford's a special place. Appreciate you too, Mintzy. I remember when we got the job, you were one of the first guys to text us support and belief that we could get this thing going. So it's always fun to remember who was with you in the early days, and you were certainly at the top of the list. So, man, thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, hotty toddy, Ole Miss head coach Chris Beard, Ole Miss 3:05 tip in Milwaukee Friday against North Carolina or San Diego State. Either way, they're in the big dance. Who cares? Let's go, Rebs.
When you hear Milwaukee, what do you think of?
I think of beer and cheese and sausage and brats.
You watch that show, Laverne and Shirley, growing up?
I've heard of it. I don't think I watched it. I think of the Brewers, too.
Yeah. They worked at the brewery in Milwaukee. That's what I always think of. I think Laverne and Shirley used to come on either right before or right after Happy Days. So one thing I would ask you is to keep an eye on Marshall Henderson, out there in Milwaukee. We need him at the games.
Yeah, he has something. He said he was going to Atlanta if they make it. He has something this weekend. I had him on the show last week. It was really funny watching all the TV time. How fired up all that was in Nashville with him. Oh yeah, I have to ask you this because my friend, our mutual friend Matt Bowers, made a point for me to ask you this. He said I have to ask you about your love for Bob Seger.
Love Bob Seger, man.
Agree. As I get older, Against the Wind is like, I feel like there's no song you can relate to more than that.
Come on, man. Night Moves, Main Street, Like a Rock. So it was one of the first cassettes I got. My dad had the 8-track, and then I was the next generation of the cassettes. And then when the DVDs came out, the first one I bought was Bob Seger, Greatest Hits, Volume 2. I've seen him live in person a couple of times. I think he's arguably the best rock and roll singer ever. You love his roots, garage band guy in Detroit. Never forgot where he came from, loyal to the people in his band, wrote his own songs. Seger is the GOAT. I'm looking for an Ole Miss connection to Bob Seger.
I saw him on TV. He was at some Lions games. Because obviously he's a Detroit guy. I saw him on TV at the end of the year at that. But I saw him on his last tour too. And man, yeah. But Matt Bauer said he came into your office one time and you were listening to Bob Seger, and he was like, "You got to ask him about it."
Yeah, I think me and Bowers, we had him on the record player. I got a record player, old school record player in my office, and I think Seger was playing the day that he came in. And that album is the Night Moves Live. That's a classic, man. Like anybody into rock and roll ought to check out that album. Yeah,
I did a duet with this girl of Night Moves karaoke at this bar in Chicago last week that Bob Seger probably wouldn't have approved, but I had to at least try.
Do you have a video of that?
I will see if I do. I will see if one turns up. I can make that happen. I can make that happen.
Could I get a copy of that, Mintzy, please?
I will. I'll make that. I will run it down for you, Coach. Well, thanks to Coach Chris Beard of the Ole Miss Rebels for giving us some time. Y'all heading up? I guess y'all head out tomorrow.
Head out tomorrow. Yeah, we practice here in the morning, and then get on the bird and head to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, hey man, the Rebs up in Wisconsin. Well, can't wait to see it. Good luck up there. Obviously, tons and tons of people pulling for y'all, and the Rebs are ready too. A lot of experience on this team. Feel real good, real confident. Got a tough bunch, so I have a good feeling about this. All right, thanks again to Coach. Hotty toddy. Thanks again to Ole Miss Coach Chris Beard for giving us some time. I've got a Ryan Odom of VCU tomorrow too.